If you've read any of my books before, you know that I like fun, interactive routines, crystal clear effects with dead simple methods so that I can concentrate on the presentation. Let's have a look at 8 professional routines straight from my repertoire, several of which are in my current act that I perform on luxury cruise ships around the world. Cunard's, Queen Mary 2, Silver Sea and Crystal Symphony. So let's have a peek inside what's in the secret notebooks of Mr. Hyde. Hi, it's Timothy Hyde here with another of our Inside Peeks, and this time we're having a look at the secret notebook of Mr. Hyde. This was my very first publication for the mentalist community. It came out in 2004. It contains material straight from my repertoire, and some of these routines have been performed hundreds if not thousands of times. I know you'll be adding some into your repertoire as well. And I also give a couple of tips and techniques and little fun things you can do into several other routines, commercially available, very popular routines. So let's get cracking. What's on the inside? The first routine in the book is called Ziplock Psychometry. You know, Ted Anneman described pseudo-psychometry as the greatest one-man psychic effect ever conceived. Now, my routine was inspired by a seemingly impromptu routine that appeared in Bascom Jones's Magic magazine. It was by Jules Hirsch and in issue 429, you can look it up, where a box of tissues was used to wrap the objects up. I kind of liked that, but I wanted to go a little bit further, so I started using Ziploc bags straight from the box. And the great thing about this is you can theme it in many ways. It's perfect for like evidence bags, a CSI type of routine, but you can use watches or rings or whatever people have, but there's many ways that you can theme it. One of the great advantages about this is that it gives you an excuse to be studying the bag or studying the object for quite a long time to make sure. And with an opaque bag, one you can't see through, there's no reason for you to be looking at it once you hold it up in the air. In fact, there's no reason to look at it really at all because you're sensing what's in there. The Ziplocs have a couple of great advantages there. That's Ziplock Psychometry. Now, I guess the next section is the reason a lot of mentalists buy this particular book, and it's my handling ideas for the greatest, the most versatile book effect ever published, MOAB. And I need to be a little bit careful what I say here as to not give too much detail, but I share my handling of what I call the con, and this is how to get that essential piece of information. This has only ever been published before in Vibrations, the journal of the PEA, and in my friend Richard Bush's Mother's Home Companion. There's also a two-person handling that I love that incorporates Larry Becker's wonderful effect, and I think you know what I mean. It provides a great moment of time misdirection as well as a great moment of surprise, and that's my normal method of performing the effect if I have time and the situation is right. Oh, there's also a ruse I call the left-handed league. I use it to explain any mistakes that might happen. There's a technique I use to prevent anybody messing you up or mucking you up, and a way to avoid embarrassing anybody who may not be able to possibly read. And I also include a visual gag that you can include in the routine or in any other book type effect that's very funny, so you can just slot that in anywhere you like. So that's my thoughts on the mother. The pig test. What can I say? I get more comments, I get more thank yous about this routine than any other routine that I have put in print before. You know, you can get the premise, the bare bones, on the internet in various places, but I'll show you how to routine it, how to make it play on stage, one-on-one, in walk-around situations, how you can incorporate Larry Becker's sneak thief principle, Al Koran's doodles idea, and I've added further layers to the readings to give it much more structure and much more impact. I love it. you're going to love it too. Next routine is the Baby Gag Plus. The venerable Baby Gag. It's big brother to the 52-on-1 card, the no gag, and the more recent barcode gag. The Baby Gag, of course, has been revisited over the years by many people, most notably quite recently by Bill Abbott and his wonderful deck. I wanted to have a bit more of a kicker at the end to actually predict the name that they called out randomly, and I developed a series of targets. I had a method to steer people towards those targets and then a way to display that person out of the envelope. My friend Bob Cassidy has a very similar premise that I discovered after I published my routine. I also have an alternative method, and this uses a terrific utility device explained in the book that John Riggs showed me, and this allows you to do the Baby Gag and then reach into your pocket and pull out a prediction that has that name written on it. Musical telepathy follows. Now this is a throwback to a wonderful old vaudeville routine that was very popular. Musical telepathy, one performer in the audience, an audience member whispers a song tune into his ear, and the wife or the partner plays it, or the band starts playing it up on stage. It's great if you do play an instrument, though that is, or work with a band, though that is not absolutely necessary. And Ted Anneman has a routine, Arthur Buckley has a routine, Harry Anderson has a routine, and it's been explored many times, and for good reason. Or if you ever see my friend Dick Steiner performing, he has a terrific musical telepathy routine, which is absolutely blockbuster. Now mine was written for cruise ships, but the theory of it and the concepts can be translated in all sorts of performing situations. And what I think is that the great thing about my routine, as opposed to others, is you control the types of music at different points chosen. So the types of tunes or the different music, so you control the dynamics and energy of the routine. In fact, you can even force a standing ovation. 7 days. Now this one is still in my cruise ship show, and I use it all the time in my MC work. And the reason is it's short, it's fun, and there's nobody up on stage with you. So it's a very valuable little filler piece. And I learnt the basics of this routine from Charlie Buckner, and Charlie had learnt it from Otis Manning. Charlie had changed it quite a lot from Otis's, and I've changed it once more. Just to suit me, and you'll probably change it as well. Charlie was a great guy, and he visited me when he came out here to Australia, and he was a link to an older generation of mentalists. He was a real knowledge store, and I know that many pros used to visit with him just to tap into his knowledge, like Barnachek and Tim Conover were great friends. And basically in the routine you prove by mathematics that most people in the world only really work 1 day a year. Now, I know it doesn't sound much, but it's a lot of fun. It's very clever. I know you're going to use it. So the last couple of routines in the book include the psychic heckler stopper, which is a great premise if you're working in comedy stores, but it's very flexible in some other venues as well. And we have the whack pack. Now, the whack pack is a routine where you reveal not a thought, but you reveal the way a person thinks, how they solve problems, how they generate ideas. And this is perfect for corporate events or team building events or a TED Talk type audience where they're interested in those mind concepts. So that's the book. Oh, there's a couple of promotional items in the back just to give you some ideas. It's an ebook. It's 38 pages PDF, so you can read it on your device, or you can print it out and make notes as you go through. Obviously, I'm very proud of it. I've had some wonderful reactions to it, and I know a bunch of professionals who perform several of the routines and use several of the ideas incorporated in the book. I hope that you will too. But don't take my word for it. Why don't you pop onto the website, magiccoach.com, and you can read what other professionals, names that you would recognize, what they thought about the book. Barnachek, John Stetson, what Richard Osterlin thought about the book. So before you go, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. And when you get over to magiccoach.com, subscribe to our newsletter there as well. If you've got any questions, feel free to send me an email. I'm easy to find. My name's Timothy Hyde. I'll see you in the next video.